It's springtime, and all the animals that live around this pond are busy, except for one. Can you see her? She's a frog, and she's my mother. Now, where do you think she's hopping off to?
Good. All clear. No other traffic on the road today. I love it when it's like this.
Ah, she's going down into the water. She has just laid all these eggs. The eggs are called frog spawn. Each of the tiny eggs is surrounded by clear jelly, and in the center is a tiny black speck just waiting to grow into a wriggling tadpole. And you know what? Somewhere in the middle of all those eggs is me. 2 weeks later, and can you see what's happening? The eggs are beginning to grow into tadpoles. Look, there's one trying to hatch. He's a lot more growing to do yet before he's ready to escape.
It's jolly strange being stuck in here, you know. I feel a little like I'm stuck in a bath full of jelly, but I can't find the plug.
Look at me go. I did it. At last I'm free. What fun to be whizzing about in the water. So many things to see and touch. This weed tickles. Now this, as I expect you might have guessed, is me. It's 2 weeks since I hatched, and now I have feathery gills on either side of my head to let oxygen into my body. 2 weeks later on, and my gills are covered by skin. I expect you'll agree. I look much neater now. Look at my tail. It's definitely growing thicker every day and getting more powerful so I can swim faster and faster. Most of our time is spent swimming about, looking for something to eat, or swimming about trying not to look like something to eat. Yes, we like to eat tiny water plants and insects that fall into the water. The only problem is that bigger animals like to eat us, so we have to watch out. Now, can you guess what I'm doing here? Well, I'm actually breathing. I'm 2 months old and my lungs have formed inside me, and every now and then I swim up to the surface of the pond for a spot of air. Oh, help! Trouble, everyone! This is one of those larger animals I was talking about, and he looks rather hungry. I think it's time to make myself scarce.
Hello. What's going on? Can anyone around here recommend anything good for lunch? Not too filling. I'm just looking for a quick snack, you know. Well, what's gone into this lot? Something has obviously frightened them. I think I'd better leave before it catches me.
Thank goodness. I'm glad he's gone. I sometimes get the feeling that this pond isn't big enough for both of us. I'll be glad when I've grown up into a frog. Now, talking of growing, look, here I am, getting much fatter and with rather interesting eyes. I'm 3 months old now and changing all the time. My back legs are growing, and so at last are my front legs too. I was getting tired of being legless all the time. I still have my tail though, which I need until it's time for me to leave the water. Ah, now this is what I've been waiting to show you. Look, I've grown up. I'm about 14 weeks old and I'm a proper, fully formed frog. I feel very grand and important now that I can live out of the water. But, oh dear, I've still got a lot of growing to do before I'm as big as this frog. I think it's time for me to hop it. Hello. Now who's this little chap sitting out in the sun cleaning himself? It looks like a mouse. Oh yes, it's me. I do like the good weather. It makes me feel so warm and contented. Now how about a nice refreshing swim in the pond before I go home? Yeah, that would be splendid. A little freshen up. Yes, the water looks good today. I wonder if that little fellow knows that this is supposed to be private. Frogs only. Mice not allowed. Strictly for swimmers. Now what's the little chap up to? Well, I'm blowed. Did you see that? Next thing, they'll be flying. Right, well, I'm going one place where I know he can't go. Underwater. That's better. You've got to show these mice who's boss. Well, I mean to say, this isn't a public swimming pool. Each to his own place, after all. You wouldn't catch me eating cheese now, would you? Hmm? What have we here? Can you guess? Well, it's a house, and this house belongs to a family of ducks. It's not much to look at, but it's home to me and to my brothers and sisters. This is my mother. Isn't she beautiful? I think she's going for a quick dip before breakfast.
Yes, this is just the way to start the day. I wonder if there's anyone else about this morning. No, all quiet. Now I can have a relaxing swim in peace. Oh, it's a bit chilly.
Well, I think now that's done, she really had better get home. In a second, you'll see why. Look, can you see what's inside? Lots of fluffy little yellow ducklings and an egg. And inside the egg is me.
Hello? Is there anyone out there? I'm trying to break out of my shell, but it's just a little tricky. It's such hard work. Oh, I've cracked it. But I don't think I shall ever manage. No? Well, just a bit harder. Yes, I've really cracked it now. Oh, what an effort. I need a rest. Now, while I rest, my feathers will dry out.
I've only been out of my egg for 1 day, and already, look, Mother's calling us out into the water for our first swimming lesson.
Come along, children. Hurry up, hop in. The water's lovely.
Watch out. Here we come. I'm not going in there. That water looks cold and wet.
Come on, come on. Don't take all day.
Ooh, it is quite cold.
Oh, come on. You'll love it once you're in.
This is great. Hey, look at me. I can float. Let's go. Let's explore. Well, look at us. We're only 2 days old. We're covered with silky yellow fluff called down, little pink beaks and bright beady eyes. We can hear and see, and we can swim. What else could a duck ask for? We use our webbed feet to paddle through the water and our little beaks to forage for food. Oh dear, somebody's lost. Wait for me, you lot. I'm on my way. Here comes Mother, full steam ahead. I think it's time we all headed for home. Let's get paddling. Here we are, back at the landing stage. Everyone get out, please. Mind the gap. Now, how about a good brush up before bed? There's nothing like a good grooming session. Oops, I missed a bit down there. I just can't get this bit right. Has anyone got a comb? It always takes Mother quite a bit longer to get herself ready, or at least that's what our father's always saying. And by now, we're already tucked up and snuggled down for a well-deserved sleep. Well, do look at us two. We're 3 weeks old now. These webbed feet are great for pushing us through the water. Not quite so good on land, though. Our feathers are starting to come through now, and with our longer legs and necks, we look a bit clumsy, don't we? I don't know whose idea it was to go on this little jaunt. I don't believe it. They've gone ahead without us. Hey, you said you'd wait. Well, we thought we would go on ahead. You've been gone quite a long time, and it was beginning to drive us quackers. Oh well, let's get paddling. Hurry up, hurry up. Faster, faster. Okay, okay, we're coming. Right, now let's stick together. Tight formation, no straggling or straying. All agreed? Yes, all right. No straggling or straying. What's that mean? I don't know. But whatever it does mean, we'd better do it. Just look at all these beautiful big white ducks swimming along so gracefully on the water. If I told you I was one of them, would you believe it? Well, I'm 7 weeks old now and fully grown. The very last of the small yellow feathers are disappearing, just a little on the back of my head. My wings have grown too. Now we are grown-ups, we still like to stay together, most of the time, just like we did when we were younger. Come on, keep up. No straggling or straying.
Yes, all right, don't worry. What is he talking about?
Now what have we here, hiding amongst the grasses, ferns and leaves? I bet you've never seen one of these before, have you? Well, she's a salamander, an amphibian. That means she can live on land paw in the water, and she's my mother. She might not be the prettiest mother in the world, I know, but I love her. Just look at her lovely black and yellow markings. Now she's making her way through the forest undergrowth to the pond where I was born. There she goes, slowly but surely. As soon as she's in the water, whee! She's off as fast as she can. Doesn't she look like a wind-up toy? Some salamanders lay eggs, rather like a frog, but others, like my mother, hatch their eggs inside their body so that when baby salamanders are born, they already have arms and legs. A bit like you, really. Before we're grown up, we spend all the time in the water. Here I am. I have feathery gills on either side of my head, which take oxygen from the water, so I can breathe. I use my arms, legs, and tail to get around and search for food. Here are some of my brothers and sisters. We're a happy little family. Now, unless we're careful, we could get ourselves into a bit of a tangle in this weed. I think I'm stuck. As we get older, our gills begin to get smaller. The underside of our bodies are very see-through. That red line is one of my veins carrying the blood around my body. And look, my heart. I wonder where everyone else has gone. It seems a bit quiet in this stretch of the pond. As we get older, we get a little more colourful. Not a lot, though. Our lungs begin to develop. We lose our feathery gills, and if there isn't enough oxygen in the water, we can swim to the surface and gulp some of the air from above. It's quite nice, actually, hanging around so peacefully. Oh, he's off. He's had enough. I still need a bit more to fill me up, though. Lovely. Don't you think I'm beginning to look more like my mother now? I'm a few months old, and I definitely have much more colour. I'm bigger too. Not much, but a bit. In fact, I feel so grown up now, I'm going to see what it's like in the big wide world. It's been a whole year now, and I'm just about fully grown. Some salamanders live to be more than 20 years old. I hope I do. I have 4 toes on each foot and covered in bright yellow spots to put off anyone who wants to eat me. They think I've got a poisonous skin. Right. Now that I've finally reached my full size, I think maybe it's time for me to explore.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Here comes a snake, eh? Well, I'm not a snake, and I don't like to be called one. I'm a lizard with a very long tail. Anyway, I like slithering about on my tummy. The ground and I are very close to each other, yes. Hang on a minute. I think I've just spotted supper.
Oh, no. Does he mean me? I don't think he knows what these spots mean. Doesn't he know I'm poisonous? Time to slip away, I think.
Right. Well, she went in a hurry. Not very sociable. Anybody would think I was going to eat her. Well, I would have, I suppose, given half a chance. Mind you, she did look a funny colour. I don't expect she'd taste very nice. Never mind. I'm sure I'm going to find something a bit more tasty. Somewhere else, yes.
Thank goodness he's gone. Ah, now here's someone a bit more my size. Well, nobody said life was fair, and besides, they don't sell sandwiches here, you know. Well, at the end of the day, there's nothing like a long, lazy rest on my favorite rock in the cool shade. Life is all go. If you're ever down by the water's edge, look out for all the tiny animals and insects who make their homes there, all going about their daily business as busy as can be. Here we are. Let's have a closer look at these beautiful damselflies and dragonflies. Isn't this blue one lovely? It's a damselfly. And here's another damselfly, a beautiful red one. Now here we have a true dragonfly, a much tougher looking chap altogether than the delicate little damselflies. His body is divided into 3 parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. He has 4 wings with tiny veins running through them. Look, the wings are so thin, they're see-through. His head can swivel in any direction with antennae on top for feeling and smelling, and he has 2 big round eyes at the front.
Whoever said I haven't got eyes in the back of my head then?
Just look at this thin, bristly foot. I bet your legs aren't this hairy. He has 6 of those legs, but they're not very good for walking on. You will only find these beautiful insects in the summertime amongst the reeds that grow beside ponds and streams.
Oh, hello there. I'm just having a quiet rest here in this lovely warm spot. It's a tough life being a damselfly, don't you know? Anyway, must fly now. Be seeing you.
In the early summer, the damselflies all like to gather around their favourite resting places, all jostling for the most comfortable spot. Come on, move over. Make some room for me. I wish you'd find your own place, just for once, and not always take mine. Well, I think I've had enough of all this. I'm off. Bye. Now here is a female damselfly laying her eggs. She pushes them as far into the reed as she can, in a place where she knows they will be near or in the water when they hatch. Look, can you see her going further and further down the reed? Her eggs are so tiny that you couldn't see them even if your eyes were as large as a damselfly. I think I'd better lay a few more down here, just to be on the safe side. I should have brought my goggles. It's lucky she can stay underwater for so long. She does it by breathing the air trapped around her body. Isn't she clever? Can you see the air moving around her? I just need a quick wash and brush up. Yes, that's better. Right, I'm ready for anything now. It's been a whole year since those eggs were laid, and now they have all hatched out.
Well, I've grown quite a bit since that tiny little egg you saw laid in the reed. I'm afraid I'm not very pretty though, am I? No, I'm called a larva. And as I grow, I shed my skin every now and then. It's not very easy living here under the water. If it's not one thing, it's another. Now, can you see my antennae? They're the long things poking out of the top of my head. Most damselflies have these long leaf-like bits at the back, although they can get pulled off in a fight. I expect you're wondering how I got so big. Well, I'm sorry to say that I must confess I have eaten the odd tadpole now and again, but only when I'm desperate. Now I'm ready to change into a damselfly. I climb out of the water and hold tight to a reed. It's time for me to shed my skin. As my body gets bigger, I split my outer skin and begin to push my way out. Oh, this isn't as easy as I'd thought it was going to be. Oh, it's a very tight fit. Oh, it feels as though my skin has shrunk in the wash. Of course, I don't usually undress in front of anyone, but This is a special occasion, isn't it? Oh, I'm nearly out. My wings are free. A little crinkled after being tucked up for so long. I definitely deserve a rest. Now, all I need to do is get me tail out and I'm home and dry. Hooray! I'm a damselfly at last. Now I have to take some time to pump up me wings and let them dry out. Ready for me first flight. And all that's left of my underwater existence is my old skin, hanging empty on the reed, like an old, like an old skin hanging on a reed. How wonderful to be fully grown and ready to go off and explore a world, or at least a pond.
Ah, look, a blue damselfly. And who have we here? A silver-winged duck. How very elegant.
Oh, yeah. It's rather nice coming out for a swim at this time in the morning. Very peaceful, I find. Hello? What have we here?
Who? Me? Well, I'm a blue demoiselle, actually.
Well, pleased to meet you.
Yes, well, goodbye.
A blue demoiselle, eh, indeed? Fancy that. Of course, that's the thing about these damselflies. Not very sociable creatures, you know. They spend most of their lives underwater, and then when they do come out, they don't stay still long enough to give you the time of day.
Oh dear, what's this? I might have guessed. Rain. I don't think we'll be seeing any more damselflies today. Still, it's water off a duck's back to some people.